Ethan Devine is a partner at Indus Capital Partners, which has a significant investment in Japanese shares. He's been closely following the unfolding Olympus drama, and he joins us this morning on the program. Ethan, first off, your reaction to confirmation that Olympus will finally sue these 19 executives?
Well, I think it's obviously a very positive step in terms of the company moving forward from a very traumatic period. And also, I think that you have to realize that with a fraud of this scale that went on for this long, it's entirely appropriate for the company to seek some redress from former management.
Okay, but what happens to the company itself? Because we still have the Tokyo Stock Exchange considering mulling over delisting of the stock. The Nikkei News coming out yesterday saying that that likely won't happen. Your thoughts?
Well, obviously, when this fraud first was exposed, that was the question of the day, as the stock was, I think, plummeting from 2,500 all the way down to almost 480, I think was the low. Everyone was wondering if they would be delisted. And there are past instances of major frauds in Japan being delisted. But recently, if you look at Nikko, you look at IHI, a somewhat lesser-known story, Futaba, a Toyota subsidiary, have not been delisted. And I think that's because the TSE understands that delisting only really punishes shareholders and isn't really an appropriate response.
Oh, well, we spoke to Michael Woodford, the whistleblower and the former CEO at Olympus earlier on this morning. He says that Olympus doesn't have a future unless they fire everyone that's involved. That includes the 3 more board members and executives that are still at Olympus itself.
Well, I think Olympus, what we have to step back and maybe appreciate is that Olympus is a very, very strong company. It has 70% global market share in endoscopes, and really is, I think, going to do quite well almost regardless of what happens with those 3 board members. So would it be for the best to have a completely clean start? Probably yes. On the other hand, are 3 individuals on the board going to scupper an otherwise very healthy company? I think that's probably unlikely.
Okay, but Olympus has lost about 70% of its market share in its share price last year because of this scandal. You're going to stick with holdings if you did own any Olympus shares?
Well, the stock is still down. I think, let's see, yesterday closed in the 12s or something like that. So just about half of where it was before the scandal came out. And I think for a long-term investor, if you're thinking more about the future than the past, clearly the events at Olympus were unfortunate. But if you think about the future, it could actually be an interesting time to look at investing in Olympus.
Okay, Ethan, thank you so much for your time today and your insights. It's good to talk to you. Ethan Devine of Indus Cap partner, who's been watching the Olympus event and is a Japanese investor, joining us this morning.